Okay, so ready to dive into Dr. Strangelove. It's a film that, well, it makes the end of the world kind of funny.
Yeah, Cold War satire, right. But Kubrick, I mean, he really nails it. The anxieties around nuclear annihilation, but somehow he finds the humor in it. Brilliant, really.
It's not just pointing at the bomb and saying, hey,
Yeah.
this is bad. It's more like he's looking at what makes that button, so tempting.
Yeah. It's about the systems, the
Hmm.
flaws, human flaws, really,
Yeah.
that make that whole thing so tempting, like almost inevitable.
It's like the bomb itself isn't the only danger. It's how we think about power, about security.
Right. Even, our own bodily fluids, like that's in there too.
Oh, yeah. General Jack D. Ripper. Obsessed with, what was it, fluoridation?
Yeah, a communist plot, right. To
Uh,
pollute our precious bodily fluids. I mean, it's absurd,
that
but
kind of makes sense, too, right? Those anxieties, they were real.
totally. What's in our food, who's controlling things, that fear. I mean, people still worry about that.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So how much of that fear is real? How much is like projecting our own stuff onto something bigger?
Right. I think that's what makes this film so relevant, even now. It's not just about the Cold War, it's about those anxieties, how they can just run wild in any system at any time.
And it's not just the themes that are timeless.
Mm.
Peter Sellers. Oh
Oh,
my God,
yes.
he plays three different characters.
Right. Group Captain Mandrake, President Merkin Muffley, and then Dr. Strangelove himself.
It's amazing. He just like switches between them, but somehow each one feels kind of detached from what's actually happening.
Yeah, totally. It's like they represent these different parts of the system,
Hmm.
but they're all kind of, I don't know, indifferent to the whole apocalypse thing.
Like Mandrake is trying to be reasonable, and Muffley's just drowning in chaos.
Yeah.
And then you have Strangelove.
Well, he's Strangelove, but there's that common thread. It's like bureaucratic indifference to the end of the world.
And visually, Kubrick really drives that home. That war room, so iconic.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge, but it's sterile, like a boardroom.
Right. Not like, discussing the end of the world. It's like they're talking about profit margins or something.
Exactly. And then there's that contrast. Slim Pickens riding the bomb. Yeehaw.
Oh, yeah.
Unforgettable. It's terrifying, but it's funny. And it just like sums up the whole thing.
Yeah, like they're playing with forces they don't even understand, so focused on the game they forgot what's at stake.
And then that ending. The bombs and Vera Lynn singing We'll Meet Again. Haunting. Just haunting.
It's powerful, beautiful, but horrifying at the same time. You're just left wondering, is there even a point to meeting again?
Like, is Kubrick saying we're doomed? Or is it a warning?
I think that's the brilliance of it. He doesn't give you the answer. You're left grappling with it. The absurdity, the danger. It's all there.
And you know it's absurd? The film was almost called Red Alert. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow. Yeah, Dr. Strangelove just fits so much better, doesn't it?
Right. And speaking of fitting in, did you know Peter Sellers was only supposed to play one role?
Wait, really? I thought those three characters were, like, written for him.
Nope. Originally, just Group Captain Mandrake.
Right.
But then he started improvising, slipping into those other characters.
Oh, wow.
And Kubrick loved it.
Yeah.
So he got three roles. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So much of the humor, it came from improvisation.
That's wild. It's a good thing Kubrick was open to that, huh? Can you imagine Dr. Strangelove without Sellers doing all three?
Absolutely not. It's part of what makes it so unique.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And there's one more thing. George C. Scott.
Yeah, General Turgidson.
Apparently, he hated the film. Hated it. Thought it was offensive, disrespectful to the military.
Wow, really? I had no idea.
Yeah. He even refused his Oscar nomination for the role.
Wow. Just goes to show humor's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Especially with something like nuclear war.
Oh, yeah. And it shows how powerful this film is. It evokes those strong reactions, even from the people in it.
That tension, that discomfort,
Yeah.
it's part of what makes it so impactful. You
Yeah.
have to confront those uncomfortable truths,
Mm.
even if it means questioning your own beliefs.
Exactly.
It reminds us, great art, it's not just about entertainment. It makes us think
Yeah.
and maybe laugh at the things that scare us the most.
Yeah, that's Dr. Strangelove for you. It's kind of crazy how Dr. Strangelove is everywhere, Like, it's seeped into our culture.
Oh, totally. I bet you hear those lines quoted all the time. Precious bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Yeah.
People say them, but they don't even realize where it's from.
Yeah, exactly. And that image, Slim Pickens on the bomb, I mean, come on, parodied a million times.
Oh, yeah.
It just shows you, right? It's had this lasting impact. The visuals, the dialogue, it's like they've become these cultural touchstones, but it goes deeper than that, I mean, Dr. Strangelove, it's shaped how we think about some really big stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Nuclear war, obviously.
Yeah.
But also like the systems that get us there. Human error, those consequences.
Exactly. All that's right there in the film. It makes you wonder, could a film like this even be made today? I mean, the Cold War's over, but...
Yeah, but haven't those anxieties just, like, shifted,
But...
morphed into something else?
Right. I mean, think about it. Things have changed, geopolitics and all. But those core themes, unchecked power, paranoia, self-destruction, they're still here, aren't they?
Yeah. We've got climate change, AI, misinformation.
Exactly. It's like Dr. Strangelove is still lurking around, reminding us that, yeah, things can spiral out of control pretty fast.
So it's like a cautionary tale, but for, like, any era.
Totally. Don't just trust authority blindly. Question those easy answers, those narratives they feed you, because sometimes it's masking something much bigger, something darker.
And that's what makes his satire so good, right? It's not just making fun. It makes you think about your own assumptions.
Totally.
It's like Kubrick saying, hey, we're all part of this system, so let's look at ourselves.
Yeah. How do we contribute to these problems?
It's timeless, really, not just a product of its time. It's about something, I don't know, more fundamental about humans.
Definitely. Oh, speaking of, how do you think this film has influenced other filmmakers? I feel like you see its DNA everywhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even beyond films about, nuclear war. Those political satires like Wag the Dog or In the Loop, that sharp wit poking fun at the people in charge.
Oh, totally.
Or even those dystopian sci-fi films,
Yeah.
like Brazil, Children of Men. It's those same anxieties about technology and the future.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just the themes. Visually, too. Kubrick style, that black and white, the detail.
Right.
That unsettling feeling, almost surreal. It's like he creates these atmospheres, the war room, the B-52 bomber, that light and shadow. It's like doom is just around the corner.
Makes sense why filmmakers like the Coen brothers, Fincher, Nolan, they all cite Kubrick as inspiration.
Makes sense. I mean, think about their styles. They're all so distinctive. And it goes back to Kubrick.
Crazy, right? One film having such a huge impact.
It's a testament to satire,
Yeah.
How it can be entertaining, but also make you think, make you laugh, but then you're confronting these, like, heavy truths.
About ourselves, about the world.
Yeah.
It's that balance, humor, A&D, insight. That's what makes Dr. Strangelove so special.
It really is. And as we go into the last part of this deep dive, I want to know what you think about how different people have interpreted this film. Because it's fascinating, right? Same piece of art, but so many different reactions. It's amazing.
So we've talked a lot about Dr. Strangelove, but as we wrap this up, I got to ask, that ending, what do you make of it?
Ooh, that's a thing, right? It's not a simple answer. It just sparks more question about us, Human nature. Can we blow ourselves up, or is there some, I don't know, redemption there somewhere?
It's like Kubrick is saying, all right, here's a mirror. What are you going to do?
Exactly. And it's a dark, funny mirror, too.
Some people, they watch that and just feel pessimistic.
Yeah.
Like we're screwed no matter what.
Right.
But others, they see hope. Like if we can laugh at it, maybe it loses its power over us.
I think both are valid. That's the thing. It works on so many levels. It critiques the Cold War, yeah, but it's also about those deeper things. Fear, wanting to control everything, those impulses.
Has the world learned anything, though, from Dr. Strangelove? Or are we still, playing with fire?
Oof, that's the big question. I mean, no nuclear war yet, so maybe those films, that fear, it helped, kept things in check.
Maybe.
But then look around. Climate change, everyone's fighting, AI going crazy. It's like the potential for disaster. It's just changed shape.
So are we doomed to repeat it all, just, I don't know, with fancier tech?
Well, I don't think Kubrick tells us for sure, but he's definitely saying, like, wake up, pay attention to the systems you build, the stories you believe.
Yeah.
It's not so much predicting the future as it is a warning. Hey, your choices matter, Individually, collectively, they have consequences.
Even when things seem absurd, the danger's real.
Yeah.
But that's where awareness comes in, right? The more we get it, the more we question things, maybe we can avoid the worst of it.
Exactly. And the laughter, that's important too. Dr. Strangelove, it's not just about thinking hard. It's about laughing at the crazy stuff. It's cathartic.
Right.
Like, you take away fear's power by finding the humor in it.
So even when things seem impossible, a little laughter helps. And, keeping an eye on things. A bit of skepticism, maybe.
Absolutely. And that's why it's still relevant. Dr. Strangelove, it's not just a Cold War thing. It's about something deeper, human nature. We can mess up big time, but we can also be wise.
It makes you think, makes you laugh, and maybe, just maybe, gives you some hope that we can learn from the past and, I don't know, build a future where Dr. Strangelove stays fiction.
I love that. Couldn't have said it better. And hey, if you haven't seen it yet, watch Dr. Strangelove. It'll make you laugh, think, and who knows, maybe even feel a little more hopeful about this crazy world we're in.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and don't be afraid to laugh, even when things are tough.
That's the spirit.